on Instagram. Thanks for coming. I'm going to talk about a whole lot of different horses tonight, and I've got a lot of cool stuff to show you that's going to make wonderful Christmas gifts.
All right, we have a couple of viewers already on Instagram. We're live on the Rust. We're ready to go, Carol. Good luck.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for coming to my live show. And I wanted to have an opportunity to let you know about all the fun things I have for sale right now, and also about the horses. And everything here is ready to ship. The minute you buy it, I'm going to have everything shipped out within 2 days so that you'll have plenty of time for Christmas gifting. And I thought I would start with Thor. We kind of have the wall of Thor over here with several pieces, and he's one of my very favorite wild stallions from McCullough Peaks. And I knew him for 13 years. He sadly passed away this year, but he is very much alive in everybody who has known him's memory. And so I'm starting with this piece, which is Thor, and it's a headshot of him, and it's 16 by 20, and it's $2.95, 16 by 24, and it's on metal. And I wanted to show, just for comparison, what this piece looks like on canvas. And I also have this for sale, but it's the same piece, but it's on canvas. And it's lighter, and I happen to love the metal myself. So the next thing is calendar. So I do a couple of calendars every year. And this year it's Picasso and Thor. And this is the Wild Stallion Picasso from Sandwash Basin. And it's all in my images of him. And it's for $33. This is the large one, which is 11 by 14. Also in the show is the smaller, medium size 8.5 by 11 calendar.
Carol, would you mind coming closer to the Instagram camera to show it a little bit closer?
Sure.
For Facebook, it's looking good, but for Instagram, it's a little bit far away. So yeah, that's going to be better.
You'll be able to see it too. Yeah. So every month is a different image of Picasso, and this is the back. And then number 3 is Thor, the Thor calendar. And I have pictures of Thor in this calendar from when he was a baby and then throughout his life, because I've known him since he was born, and 13 years. And this is also a large calendar for $33.
Just wanted to take the time to quickly remind everyone that if you're interested in one of the pieces, as Carol said, the items bought in the show will be shipped in 2 days, so you get it on time for Christmas. But if you're interested in checking more, we're only showing a few of the pieces available on the show. All you need to do is hit the shop link that you have on Facebook and YouTube and go to the link in bio on Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram, link in bio, it's up. Also, a reminder that all of the books and calendars will be signed. So number 4.
It's number 5 for Thora.
Thor and Thora. So this is last October, Thor with little baby Thora. And it's a 5 by 7, and it's $55. I love these little minis. They make great gifts. And then 10 is Thor Rears Against a Blue Sky. So this was this April, just a few days before Thor passed away. And he was rearing and challenging another stallion. And the light was just gorgeous. This is also a metal print. And it's 16 by 24, $2.95. And then I have a tote. I've got a couple totes. 3 totes total. This is Wild Philly Besties, and it's a 18 by 18 inch tote, and it's $40. So all of the pieces that I'm showing you are priced considerably less than they would be on my website. So you're already getting a discount, which is nice. The next one is the book package. So I have 4 coffee table books. This one is Blue Zeus. This is the most recent. It came out 2 years ago. This one is Wild Hoofbeats, which was my first book in 2008. And it talks about the Adobe Town horses and the situation facing wild horses. It's just as relevant today as it was back then. Then I have a book on horse photography. It's a how-to. And then Galloping to Freedom. It was about a group of horses from Adobe Town that was rescued by Canna Foundation, now Rewilding America Now, and went to Black Hills Wild Horse Sanctuary. So they're great stories, but also have wonderful pictures.
So I wanted to take the opportunity before you continue, Carol, to say that we have around 20 to 30 viewers right now in all the platforms combined. Guys, I highly encourage you. Carol loves to answer questions. If you have a question for Carol, just let us know in the comments. I'll be shouting out the question to Carol, and she'll be more than happy to answer.
Please do. Yes, I love questions. And Thor's Last Portrait. This is this one. It's a black and white. And since his coloring is so dramatic, black and white, I think that it works very well. And this is a 16 by 24, and it's a canvas. And let's see, it is, oh, actually, sorry, I'm confusing things. Sorry, Juan. It's this one. So I have it in a larger size, and then this is the small size, which is a 5 by 7. And it's a canvas. Let's see. Picasso runs up. So this is my, if I can find it. Here we are. Okay, I have another. Here it is. Picasso happens to be one of my favorite wild stallions, and he was really a legend in the Sandwash Basin. And this is a 10 by 10, $85, and it's probably my most popular image of Picasso. And it's on canvas. And, oh, Booker, Rose, and Thor. Sorry, I got out of order. So, what's interesting is how much Thor looks like Thora when they were babies. So similar, the markings. This is Booker Rose, who is Thor's dad, with Thor back 13 years ago when he was a foal. And it's $55, and it's 5 by 7. Wild Curly in the Snow. Here we go. Here he is. So this young bachelor stallion in Salt Wells Creek, you can see the waves of hair. He's a curly, and he's got curls in his ears, and his mane's curly, and he just looks gorgeous in the wintertime. This was in January, and in Salt Wells Creek, and this is $55. It's a canvas. And on that same trip, I saw my favorite curly, wild curly, Julian. He's a Carmelo curly. He was born 4 years ago, and he is very curly, especially in the winter. The curlies tend to kind of shed their hair and have less hair and less mane in the summer, but in the winter, they're very well suited for cold climates. And this one is $55. Anybody have any questions yet?
Not so far.
Okay. Then I decided that I get asked about greeting cards all the time. So I thought I'd put together a couple of packages of greeting cards. These all come with envelopes. And these are the images that are the cards. So you'll get 5 cards total plus 5 envelopes. And they're all wild horses from McCullough Peaks, Salt Wells Creek, and also from the Red Desert Complex. And inside of each of the cards, I have a second image. So they're kind of cool. And then this one. All right. So 3 wild stallions meet. So I also have some matted prints that I'm offering at a very low price, less than half what I normally sell them for. And this one is 3 wild stallions meet, and this is Thor when he was a young stallion, and 2 other stallions with him. And it's $24, and it's a matted print.
Thank you for your comment, Liz. Liz is saying your artwork is stunning, Carol, over on Facebook.
Thank you so much. And then Wild Snow Stallion. This is another favorite of mine. This was my first foray into to visit wild horses in the winter. And it's just Kinney Rim in Adobe Town is just so spectacular. And this wild stallion just posed for a moment as we drove by, and it's just beautiful out there in the winter. I love going in the winter, but the only bad thing is you can easily get stuck. And if it's really cold, it can be dangerous. So I tend to be kind of picky about when I decide to go out in the snow. Winter Chase. So that's this one over here. This is a stallion chasing a mare running, and I took this from a plane. This was the winter 2 years ago when there were 16-foot drifts and you couldn't even get into the area, and I was concerned about the horses. So I flew over the area and saw some horses. The turbulence was pretty bad at some points, so it's hard to get into some of the areas, but it was amazing to me how the snow just spread out for miles and miles and miles. It was just absolutely stunning, but absolutely terrifying for the horses. And we actually lost probably half of the Red Desert Complex horses in that winter. And right now there's more stallions than mares. So there's a lot of fighting and stallions trying to take mares, and things have changed. So Mother Nature has a huge effect on our wild horse herds. It's not just the roundups.
Carol, we have a question from Timothy on Instagram. He says
Yes.
he's sorry if he missed it, but how much were the greeting cards?
Oh, the greeting cards. They're 5 cards, and the package is $25 for the 5 together. And there are several other packages in there. A couple of the packages only have 3, and they're 15. And then there's one with 6, and it's 30.
Thank you so much.
And then mug. So mugs are fun. This is Taboo from McCullough Peaks. It's called Taboo Leads the Way, and she's got her daughter and several of her family.
Can you please show that one to Facebook camera too, please? It was a little bit too low. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Thank you.
Kind of have to see the whole thing. And the mugs, let's see, are 24.
We got another question from Liz on Facebook, Carol. She's asking if you do ship internationally.
Yes. What you'll need to do is send me a message or an email, and I can, if you give me your shipping address, I can calculate out what that shipping would be.
That's awesome. What's her email address, Carol, so I can reply to her on Facebook too?
It's cwlivingimages@gmail.com.
Images@gmail.com. There you have it, guys. It's going to be in the comments.
So something like Luiz's portrait, this large, or these 20 by 30 pieces, it's just not going to be practical to ship overseas. But things like books and small things I can do that. That's no problem. Let's see. 3 snowy bachelor stallions. This was taken again in January, and that wonderful dark brown stallion with the curls, and 2 other stallions, and that's 12 by 18, and it is $85. Now, a favorite stallion of mine is Teton, and he lives in Saltwells Creek. And Teton, he has the mountains on his side, so that's why he was named Teton. And he's a gorgeous stallion. He actually got in with the family last year, and the stallion and he are kind of have an uneasy truce, but they all hang out together and they're not really fighting. He's hoping, of course, that the other stallion goes away, but I don't think that's going to happen. But he has gorgeous blue eyes, and this is a wood print, and I just love these wood prints. They're on maple.
Are those ready to hang, Carol?
These are ready to hang.
Well, that's lovely.
And this is 14 by 14, and it is $155. Another wood print. This is Fallen Star, and he's in the Red Desert Complex. He's a gorgeous stallion, and he's a dun, and he has a magnificent mane. His mane was more magnificent before that terrible winter 2 years ago. Actually, most of his mane fell out, but it's growing back. And this is also on wood, and the size on this one is 12 by 16, and let's see, it's $155.
Carol, we got a comment and a question on Facebook from Janet. She's saying, "Hey, Carol, how many ounces are the coffee mugs? Thank you for your beautiful artwork and for all you do for wild horses."
You know, I'm sorry, I don't know how many ounces they are, but I would think they're at least 12. Maybe 16. They're fairly big.
Are you fulfilling those with art storefronts, Carol?
No, as I said, everything here, everything is here. So you might have to wait a little bit if you ordered it directly.
Yeah, the question is, are you ordering those through Gooden?
Yes.
Okay, I'll find out the answers for that one. Okay.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay, and then Tamlin and Thea. This one I can actually take off the wall. It's a little smaller. So Tamlin, I got to see him born. It was amazing. It was in McCullough Peaks. I drove up and I saw Thea thrashing on the ground, and I was like, what's going on? And all of a sudden I saw water gush out, and then I saw little Tamlin be born. And it was just the most amazing experience, watching him get up and finally nurse. And the family was so tender with him. Thor came up, and Taliqua, the stallion, came up, the other stallion came up, and they all kind of were looking at the baby. But he's growing, and this was in July. He was born in August, and he's standing a little higher than Thea and kind of chewing on her, like foals do. And this is 8 by 12, and it is metal print, and it's $85.
Another question, Carol, coming from YouTube this time from Maddie Dawn. She's asking, did you include the backstory of the horse also? I'm assuming when someone purchased the artwork.
No, but I do have people ask me for it, and I'm happy to email it.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. There you go, Maddie.
Happy to do that. Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. The next tote is one of Thor. Thor turns his head. It's 18 by 18, and it's $40. I love the totes. They are so cool. And the color's really quite accurate, which I find really nice. Then ornaments. So I have ornaments. The ornaments are each 20. I'll just pull a few off and bring them close. So this one's Snow Colts. This is 3 colorful horses in the snow. This one is Snow Stallion. He's not wild. And this one is Blue Zeus. And they're metal.
By the way, Carol, we have 2 sizes of mugs. So one is 11 ounces and the other one is 15. I'm assuming by the looks of it, that looks like an 11 one, right? Or is it the big one?
I think it's,
Yeah,
let's see, I've got some water here.
might as well be the big one, the 15 ounces one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 15.
15 ounces. Yep. So to the question on Facebook, Jeanette, it's 15 ounces, the mug.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, then we've got a pillow. This is one of my favorite spring portraits from the Pryor Mountains in Montana. And this is a little filly who had just woken up from a nap. And this is a pillow, and it is $30.
Timothy is also commenting on Instagram. Thanks for the comment, Timothy. He's saying, I've seen Carol's art in person, and I can assure you it is so stunning.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so great. Thank you. And then another wood print, Galatea and Full. And I'll pull this over here. Try not to spill the water. This mare was in Great Divide Basin. She's an older gal, and this is not her foal. She's the auntie. And I was driving on I-80, and I saw this group of horses just off the highway. So I pulled over, found my way down to them, and sat down and waited. And these horses had never met me before. And they came up and they gave me quite a show. They sat with me for a while. They went back and forth. It was really beautiful. They were just very curious, and it was an amazing experience. But this mare was just so stunning. And this is on maple. It's 16 by 24, and it's $2.95, and it's ready to hang. Let's see. And Wild Red Desert Family runs ahead. This is a family in the Red Desert Complex, and just stunning pintos. And they were very curious about me, and they came running toward me, which was absolutely thrilling. And they're just so beautiful. And this is 12 by 26. It's a glossy metal print, and it's $2.95. So, any other questions?
Not for now, Carol, but I wanted to ask you a question. I don't know if you'll be willing to. Maybe I do remember from a live show we did together, you were
Yes.
giving us some word and reading the intro to the newest book. I don't know if you
Yep.
want to do something like that, because we had the question in Facebook about including the backstories, and I know you have plenty of stories on your books. So I think it's a
Absolutely.
good showcase to demonstrate what's within it. And that
Sure.
could probably, engages people to ask more questions. Let's see.
Absolutely. So this is from Blue Zeus, which came out 2 years ago. And the story of Blue Zeus is a story that represents all of America's wild horses, pushed to the poorest of lands, having lost 22 million acres that originally was home, wild horses face eradication and extinction from our own federal government, from the Bureau of Land Management, who is tasked with protecting and managing them on our public lands. Last year alone, over 18,000 wild horses were rounded up and removed from their families, homes, and freedom, and the BLM has plans to remove over 20,000 horses in 2022. The roundup in the Red Desert Complex started in October and ended in November with 1,970 wild horses captured, 10 deaths, 100 mares treated with birth control, and 197 wild horses released. This devastating roundup left families shattered, the desert almost empty of wild horses, and left me with an almost impossible task of finding horses that I knew and loved in the corrals at Rock Springs and Canyon City. Blue Zeus is an extraordinary horse, and he deserved to have been left wild and free to live out his life with his family in the Red Desert of Wyoming. But all our wild horses deserve the same. They deserve our care and respect. They deserve to be managed in their homes with the least invasive and most researched methods available. We must speak out for them and create change to protect them. They are valuable in and of themselves and should not be a pawn for powerful political interests. Their wildness is a huge contribution to the soul of our nation and to those they touch with their wild spirits, their beauty, and their freedom. And this is just even more relevant now than it was 2 years ago. And I know a lot of people are very concerned about the future of our wild horses. And it's something that I have been working on since 2004. And the truth is, we don't have a clear path forward to keep these horses free yet, but I believe we will. And I'm going to continue to keep educating the public and showing people how incredibly gorgeous and amazing these horses are. Because the more that people see that, the more that they care and they want to help them. So I also have a podcast, Freedom for Wild Horses, that's educational and lets people know the issues that are going on with wild horses. So
We've got a couple of comments here and there. Carol, I'd like to read those out loud for you. For SD Holler on Instagram, I already replied on Instagram, but he's asking if any of this is available for sale.
Any of
the artwork, the pieces that you're showing today.
Oh yes, they're all for sale, and they're at the link in my Facebook post and also on Instagram in my profile. And also there's a link in my story on Facebook and the story on Instagram as well.
Awesome.
To shop the sale.
Great.
And we're going to be extending the sale until midnight tomorrow. So it gives you time to make a purchase if you do want to.
Great. We have Nancy Carter saying, "Hi, Carol. Thank you for being in the fight. I need to get that book on YouTube."
Absolutely. And as I said, as I said earlier, every book will be signed. Every calendar will be signed as well.
Awesome. And yeah, we have Alicia sharing some thoughts of compassion. She's asking, what's the reason for this? This is so awful.
Yes, it is awful. And the primary reason right now is the livestock industry, who has grazing leases on our public land, sees the horses as competition and want them gone. And they have a considerable amount of power and so they have been able to keep going on this. But I contend that if people hadn't gotten involved to help the horses over the last 20 years, we would have no wild horses left. So the best thing that you can do is sign up for news and alerts, look at my blog, and also my podcast. And also there's a fight to zero out Salt Wells Creek, Great Divide Basin, half of Adobe Town, and there's a lawsuit that American Wild Horse Conservation is fighting. I'm on the lawsuit as well. So if you can donate to the legal fund, that would be very helpful. Anything else?
Awesome. No, just Alicia saying thank you. Yeah.
And then also, I'm going to be shipping anything you buy, I'm going to be shipping immediately. So you'll have plenty of time for holiday gifts. And that was really my impetus behind doing the show. The other thing is the artwork sales, they support what I do. They support me going out there and documenting what's going on with the horses. This year alone, I was at 2 different roundups documenting what was going on. And so anything that you can do to purchase is very helpful to me. So just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, we actually have a question from Hello, it's Johnny on Instagram. She's asking how to donate to the legal fund.
Oh, so go to AmericanWildHorseConservation.com and you can you'll see where to donate to the legal fund.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I work by myself. I work in partnership with different groups from time to time, but I am on my own. I'm not on any board. I don't have a 501c. So, this is all, I'm doing this on my own. And I find that this way I get to do what I feel is right. And I get to pursue things that I care about. And the Wyoming horses are kind of my area of expertise.
We have another question from Instagram, Carol from SD Holler again. Do you think the new elected office will be able to do more for our wild horses?
No. I honestly believe it's going to be much worse. Project 2025 has, I forget the page number, but it plans to kill all the horses in holding. There's over 65,000 horses in holding. So no, I don't believe that things are going to be looking up for our wild horses right now. But I'm looking for every opportunity I can to help them.
Thank you, Carol. All right, let's just give it a minute to see if we get any new questions, either from Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Yep.
Well, and I also want to say I really appreciate everyone who follows me, everyone who comments on my posts, everyone who shares when I do a post about what's going on. I really, really do appreciate it. I appreciate your following my artwork and supporting me. And thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it.
All right, I think that we can safely name it a wrap. If you want to give some reminders about what's upcoming, Carol, this will be a great
so I'm going to extend the sale until tomorrow night at midnight. So I'll give you plenty of time to shop the sale and take a look at everything. It may take you a little while because there's 93 items in the sale, but a lot of them are under $50. Most of them are. And so hopefully it'll give everybody from different price points for gifts. And also, I know when I'm shopping for Christmas, I'm shopping for myself too. It's not just for the gifts.
Let's see. I just got an idea, Carol. Let me see if I can share the page here in the Facebook video.
Oh, great. That'd be great.
So people can get an idea. So yes, I'll be able to scroll down, and if you want to speak about, the pieces in there.
Yeah. So all of these pieces are in there. And and I didn't have a chance to talk about all of them because then I'd be here all night and I don't want to do that.
Yes.
So Juan is showing this on Facebook, scrolling through here. And if you're on Instagram, go to either the link in my story or the link in my profile, and you'll see the link so you can scroll through for yourself.
That's awesome. This number 21, all legs. I love that photo. It's so funny.
Yeah, this is actually Rembrandt in McCullough Peaks when he was born, and his mother Trade Beat was an amazing mare, wonderful with her foals.
Awesome. All right, this was a fun show, Carol.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. I appreciate it.
Sounds good. I'll be turning off the live here. Okay, you can take care of Instagram, Carol.